You want the moon? Just say the word and I'll throw a lasso around it and pull it down.
Look at the stars. The great kings of the past look down on us from those stars. So whenever you feel alone, just remember that those kings will always be there to guide you.
I don't think it is very useful to speculate on what God might or might not be able to do. Rather, we should examine what he actually does with the universe we live in.
We are all explorers, driven to know what's over the horizon. The most profound discoveries are not necessarily beyond that next star. They're within us, woven into the threads that bind us.
Good morning, happy Monday, happy Moon Day. I hope your week is off to a great start. We have a couple transits to talk about today. We'll also look to the week ahead, give you a preview of the energy on the way, and we have an exciting announcement to preview tomorrow as well. So we have a lot of fun stuff to talk about today. Let's jump right in and take a look at the current planets. So let me pull this up right now, and you can see we're smack dab in the middle of Capricorn season. Still about a week left until Aquarius season begins. We have a full moon coming up in about a week, next Monday, and today we have the sun forming a sextile to Neptune. So we'll go through all of it, we'll explain all of it for you, and actually let me pull up our previews for the week ahead so you have a better idea of the energy on the way. All right, so here we go. We'll talk about the planetary transits first, and actually let me zoom in on this if I can so you can see a little bit better. There we go. That looks good. Okay, so today we have a sextile between the Sun and Neptune, support between the conscious mind and the subconscious mind, and we'll break that down in just a second. Of course, day by day, we'll also explain what all of this means a little bit more in depth, but this is just a snapshot of the week ahead. And then let's see, Tuesday we have a square between Mars and Neptune. So Neptune is really prominent this week. That's a good way to say it. Definitely making an appearance, making himself known. I don't know if Neptune would be, I don't think we need to genderize Neptune, but you know what I mean. Neptune is in our face this week. And that square between Mars and Neptune, that to me looks like messy action and also like spiritual motivation, but also some tension between our ideals and the actions we want to take. Wednesday, we have another square between Mercury and Uranus. Mercury being the planet of communication, Uranus being the planet of change, the planet of rebellion. This looks like new perspectives, new information, maybe surprising information, maybe rebellious information, or even a mental breakthrough. Thursday, the moon forms trines to Mercury and Saturn. So this is important because Mercury stations retrograde, as you can see here, on Friday. So when the moon forms this trine to Mercury on Thursday, it gives us this moment to contemplate. Our thoughts and our emotions are flowing together nicely before Mercury goes full haywire on us on Friday. Although we're already in the shadow period right now, so if you're already experiencing tech issues or glitches or anything like that, well, you're right on track because Mercury's been in its shadow period for the past week or so, and the shadow period continues after Mercury goes direct for the first couple weeks of February. On Saturday, the moon enters Cancer. That's important because we have a full moon in Cancer next Monday, a week from today. And then Sunday, the headline transit, potentially of the entire week, honestly, is the Sun forming a conjunction to Pluto. This could look like a death and rebirth of the self. This could look like new year, new you, like a complete change in your perception of self, in your rational mind. Pluto is the planet of shadows and the planet of death and rebirth. So this looks like a pivotal moment, a change, a crumbling, and a rebuilding of yourself as the Sun rules the self. And then taking a look at what's going on with the moon this week. Today, the moon moves into Taurus, just moved into Taurus. It's at 0 degrees right now, so this morning. Stays in Taurus, and this, we're moving from the first quarter moon on Sunday to a waxing gibbous moon as it prepares to become full over the next week. So you can see that with our moon phases here, gradually getting more and more full every week. The moon stays in Taurus, and the moon is exalted in Taurus, by the way. So the moon is very comfortable in Taurus, and we too want to feel more comfortable under this lunation. Tuesday, the moon stays in Taurus. Keep in mind, though, Taurus energy can be a little bit stubborn, so emotionally, we can kind of be fixed in our own energy over the next couple of days. By the time the moon moves into Gemini on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, our emotions can flow a little bit more easily. That's a mutable sign, so the emotions can change and adapt to our environments a little bit more easily through the end of the week. Gemini energy is all about teaching and learning new information. So you could be feeling like learning more a little bit by the end of the week, gaining a higher understanding, maybe some lessons. This does come with a potential of overstimulation as well, though, because the Gemini moon makes us especially chatty and social. So, that comes with a consequence sometimes if we don't be mindful of our own energy. And then, as I mentioned, the moon moves into Cancer on Saturday, really attuning us with our emotional energy, bringing more emotional awareness. Sunday, because of that conjunction between the Sun and Pluto, we could have heightened emotional intensity right before the moon becomes full on Monday. So that full moon in Cancer is going to be, it's not more full than any other moon, but it's going to feel really emotionally charged because the moon is ruled by Cancer, and because the Cancer moon always makes us feel just a little bit more emotional, or most of us, depending on what your moon sign is and what your chart looks like. We will be feeling this full moon for sure this week. Or next week, I should say, next Monday. So that's a quick snapshot of the energy ahead. And I know we have some people joining us this morning. Hey, Alex, thank you for being here. Good morning to you, Gordo. Safe, so lovely to see you. Hope you're doing well. All right, now let's do today. Let's take a look at today. What specifically is going on for us? So now I'll pull up the chart so you can see. All right, so we talked about this sextile between the Sun and Neptune. But what does it all mean? What does it mean? And actually that question is very appropriate for this energy. What does it mean? Because Neptune is the planet of confusion. So the Sun is in Capricorn. This is a very practical energy. A lot of us are thinking about ourselves, about our lives in a practical light. What do we want in 2022? We're kind of looking ahead to the year and figuring out what this year is going to look like for us practically. But when Neptune joins the mix, this sextile between the planet of dreams here in Pisces, Neptune over here, and the Sun in Capricorn, so this is 60 degrees exactly between them today, and that angle becomes exact at 7:30 tonight. So this energy is building throughout the day. You might still feel it a little bit on Tuesday as well, depending on where you live. And when these two planets lock into this 60-degree angle with one another, it can look like the edges of our conscious mind are being blurred a little bit. And not necessarily in a bad way, because a sextile is a supportive angle. This is a positive aspect. But we can push the boundaries of, or the limits of our normal perception. We can gain a deeper or higher understanding of things that our conscious mind can't normally wrap its head around, for lack of a better term. So this can be spiritual understanding. We can deeply understand esoteric concepts today. You might be introduced to some sort of idea or concept that normally you would be a little bit skeptical of, or normally you wouldn't fully be able to get. Today is the day you might be able to get it. And it's also a great day for meditation. So if you've been feeling a little bit confused or lost about your purpose, about your place, and you're looking for some clarity, although Neptune is very cloudy and confusing, because it's forming a sextile to the sun today, it can allow for those psychic insights or downloads, especially if you quiet your mind enough to let them come through. You know, Neptune is the planet of spirituality. It's also kind of what's beyond the veil, if you will. So if you quiet your rational mind enough, your rational mind being ruled by the sun, you may be surprised by what just easily comes through. It does require that action, though. A sextile requires some action to fully appreciate its benefits. So it does require sitting in meditation or Googling that random concept that you've been thinking about for a while but haven't quite dived deep into yet. You know, if you're more curious about astrology and you haven't looked up your birth chart yet, today would be a great day to do that, with the sun forming a sextile to Neptune. And we can also imagine, dream, be creative under this aspect as well, because Neptune is also the planet of creativity, the planet of imagination, all things that kind of stem from our subconscious mind. So, you know, that could be a great way to sort of unlock whatever concepts, information you're trying to understand. Creativity can help us lean into our spirituality a little bit today. And that can be that action that you're taking in order to gain the information, gain the higher understanding. Now, another potential outcome of this sextile between the Capricorn sun and Neptune in Pisces is just being extra sleepy, because Neptune does rule the planet of sleep, so, or is the planet of sleep, I should say. So, you know, 7:30 tonight, this goes exact. Don't be surprised if you get sleepier a little earlier than normal today, or, you know, if you do decide to meditate, if you fall asleep during your meditation, that is definitely a possibility. And pay attention to what dreams come through tonight as well, because again, it's our subconscious mind supporting our conscious mind. So if there are messages that come through in your dreams, those could be supportive of what's going on in your waking life. So that's what's going on between the sun and Neptune today. At 7 a.m., we just had the moon move into Taurus. So you can see the moon is at 0 degrees Taurus as we speak right now. And actually, the moon is only making one connection today. So not a lot to talk about yet in that department. That changes a little bit later this week. So the moon in Taurus, as I just spoke about, is what we call exalted. It means it's in a place of comfort. It's not quite at home, but it's the next best thing. So we too can get comfortable, cozy, settle in, and being physically comfortable can actually help us find emotional comfort while the moon is in Taurus. We'll crave that physical comfort, whether it's through, you know, of course I pulled out like my coziest sweater today, not because I knew the moon was in Taurus, but because that just seemed right. It just seemed like it would feel good. Or, you know, a nice, warm, hearty meal can really help us lean into that physical comfort Taurus energy. Your softest blanket, a warm bath. So leaning into those physical comfort, that self-care, can help nurture us emotionally as well. And self-care is a great way to use the moon the next couple of days, especially as we're coming out of the first quarter moon. We're invited to take action, start working towards the culmination of the moon phase, the full moon. This is a time to clear any blocks, to really start building the energy, to make any adjustments needed to get to that point. You know, you can think of this, the full moon, as kind of that harvest traditionally. So this is the time where you might be pulling the dead weeds out in the fields, or really pruning, making sure that everything is going to be hardy enough to harvest next Monday. And we're not talking about crops here, we're talking about ourselves. So that's why that self-care component is really helpful. Those are those adjustments that you need to make, or self-care, you know, a salt bath, some healthy food can really help you clear any blocks that are keeping you from experiencing your full potential at this full moon. And then the only major transit with the moon today is another sextile. So we have a really supportive day with these two sextiles. Nice start to our week. The moon forms a sextile to Jupiter at 11 a.m. So we'll just jump ahead a few hours on our chart so you can actually see what that looks like. All right, so once the moon hits 2 degrees in Taurus, it's exactly 60 degrees away from Jupiter, which just moved into Pisces about a week ago. A lot of people excited about that Jupiter and Pisces energy, renewing our optimism, helping us dream a little bigger, amplifying our ideals of what we believe the world can be, how beautiful we think it can be if we all just work together a little bit. So when the moon forms a sextile to Jupiter, this gives us a little boost for our Monday, a little boost in morale. You might already start to feel this as the moon has just entered Taurus and is coming into that sextile, now within 2 degrees of that sextile to Jupiter. And Jupiter is the planet of abundance, generosity, optimism, so we'll care more about others under this transit. Our actions are more generous. Our mood is more optimistic. We can also be a little bit more persuasive under this transit. So, you know, talking about the moon phases, clearing blocks, refining. You know, this could be a time if you are working towards a specific goal right now. The Taurus moon can help us get grounded, get determined, and this sextile to Jupiter today can bring good luck. So if you're trying to pitch a project or an idea, or you know, you have this big dream, but you're afraid to take action because it seems too big, today is a good day to do it with this sextile to Jupiter. And don't be surprised if you have good luck today just by putting out those positive vibes. You know, if you can lean into positivity and put that energy out, it should come back to you pretty easily as the moon forms this supportive angle to Jupiter. A really lovely day to start our week, honestly. We love it on a day like today. Nothing negative to talk about, nothing to really like warn you about. I do like Alex saying though that he notices he's more tired today than normal. So that could be Neptune's influence, certainly. Also, we had a void moon all morning until the moon moved into Taurus at 7 a.m. So if you were up early, the void moon is when the moon is not making any more connections at the end of its transit through a sign. So as the moon finished its trek through Aries, after it connected with Pluto last night, it didn't form any more connections. And that's what we call that void moon, that period where the moon is kind of floating through the end of the sign before it enters a new energy. And that is a time of rest. That's a time where it can kind of feel like it's hard to get going, and anything started before 7 a.m. probably wouldn't amount to a whole lot today. So that could be influencing your level of awakeness. But also the sun forming a sextile to Neptune can make us a little bit sleepier. And it's not a bad thing to rest. Rest can be that, again, you know, a sextile requires a little bit of effort to fully appreciate its benefits, but resting can be that action that you take or that effort that you put in to let the universe, God, spirit know that you're open to receiving new information. You're open to understanding higher concepts. Sometimes it takes us just shutting our brain down and relaxing to allow new insights, new information to come in. Yeah, woke up at 4:30. So you woke up under the void moon. And yeah, that can make you a little bit more tired. Energy should start building now, though, that the moon has moved into Taurus. So I'm curious. You'll have to tell me tomorrow if your energy picks up at all today, or if today is just going to be a tired day for you. And also, it's important to note where your moon is, because that also affects how you're feeling the Taurus moon. All right, so that's a look at today's transits. Let's do a little overview and then we will pull a card. We experience a shift in energy to start our week as the moon moves into Taurus at 7 a.m. Pacific time this Monday. And the moon is exalted in Taurus, so it is cozy here, and we too can get a little bit more comfortable. The next couple days are a perfect time for self-care, removing any blocks that are going to prohibit you from reaching your full potential by the full moon next Monday. The moon gets support from Jupiter, the planet of abundance and optimism, boosting our mood midday on Monday, helping us be more optimistic and potentially bringing some good luck our way. Tonight, the major transit we're talking today is a sextile between the Sun and Neptune, helping our subconscious mind work together with our conscious mind. Meditation would be a great way to use this transit. We can understand spiritual and esoteric concepts when the Sun and Neptune are working together, but don't be surprised if this transit makes you a little bit sleepier as well. All right, that's a look at today's energy. Now let's go ahead and pull a card. We're going to keep it simple today, pulling from The Universe Has Your Back. So while I shuffle, as always, this is your time to ask questions. Wherever you're watching, let me know how you're feeling. If you experienced that little lull of energy with the void moon this morning, if you woke up before 7 a.m., you might have felt that. Or how did this weekend look for you? Yesterday we had the first quarter moon in Aries, and the moon was in Aries all weekend. And at least for me, I noticed definitely a difference in my energy this weekend. Definitely more motivation to kind of move and get things done, take action, which is definitely supported by an Aries moon and definitely supported by the first quarter moon. So now that the first quarter moon has passed, like I said, this is really the time to start just kind of pushing forward towards your goals. I'm looking up at my moon chart over to the side here. That first quarter moon invites us to take action, and the waxing gibbous moon is that week period where we're starting to take the action. We're clearing any blocks in our path. We are starting to realize and refine our vision a little bit more, and getting ready for the celebration that is the full moon next Monday. The full moon in Cancer, too. All right. What do we need to know today? I honor how I want to feel. I honor how I want to feel. I love this. So, this really plays hand in hand with the self-care component I've been talking about during this entire live stream, right? Honoring how you want to feel. So self-care isn't something that we just do when we desperately need it. Self-care can be that, like I said, that signal out to the universe, to spirit, to God, that hey, I'm prioritizing myself and this is how I want to feel. So even if you are stressed out and you decide to take that nice long bubble bath, that's telling the universe, this is how I want to feel. I want to feel relaxed. Taking the nap, right? Like, I want to feel rested. Doing something to make you feel love for yourself. I want to feel loved. So ask yourself, how do I want to feel today? How do I want to feel this week? And honor that. Do an act of self-care. Put that out to the universe that this is how you want to feel, especially how you want to feel by the full moon, by next week. And even, it doesn't just have to be this moon cycle, but how do you want to feel this year? What practices can you start refining and putting into place regularly so that you are aligning with that energy and leaning into that feeling throughout the year, gaining more of that feeling throughout 2022. So honor how you want to feel today. Do a little brainstorm, figure out what self-care looks like for you and how to incorporate it into your life a little bit more. I honor how I want to feel. Love that message for today. So that's going to do it for our forecast. One more housekeeping item that I want to talk to you about is my giveaway that is going on through the end of the day today. So if you haven't seen it yet, let me show you. I'm giving away a free astrology reading in honor of launching astrology readings on my website. So if you want to enter, it'll be a free half-hour reading. You can just go to my Instagram page at OLIVIA DEGENNARO. I'll actually just write it in the messages right now. Oh, just kidding, I won't because my keyboard just died. But it's just at OLIVIA DEGENNARO. You can see it on the screen here. And then you can go to the giveaway post, a couple rules that you have to abide by in order to qualify to be the winner. You have to like this post on Instagram. You have to comment and tag at least one person in the comments. You have to follow me at OLIVIA DEGENNARO. And then the last thing you have to do is subscribe to me on YouTube. And, I know it seems like, okay, like me in all these places, do all these things, but I just want to clarify that I'm asking people to subscribe to me on YouTube because I have to hit 1,000 subscribers before I can start monetizing this channel. So if my content, however you're watching right now, is helping you out, if you're enjoying these forecasts, subscribing on YouTube is totally free and is the easiest way to support these live streams. It's really important to me to keep this information free and accessible to you, so subscribing is the way I ask you to support me. So yes, a free 30-minute astrology reading. Oh, wrong post. But it'll only take you, less than 5 minutes, not even that, to enter the giveaway. If you're interested, I'll announce the winner tomorrow morning on this live stream. So if you've already entered the giveaway, make sure to tune in tomorrow morning and I'll be announcing the winner live on this show. And once the winner is announced, I will also be launching astrology readings in my shop. So that's very exciting as well. I'll show you how you can book a reading tomorrow during our live stream, but you can book through thespiritualjournalist.com. Readings will go live tomorrow on 1/11, and you'll be able, if you're not the winner, to book a reading with me. So lots of exciting stuff coming up this week. We talked through the energy heading our way. Mercury goes retrograde at the end of the week, which will be interesting. Luckily, this Mercury retrograde, ooh, got something in my eye. Luckily, this Mercury retrograde is only a couple weeks, so not terrible. And Venus is currently retrograde too, so if your life feels a little crazy right now, there's a reason for that. Just keep watching these live streams and we'll walk through the energy together. All right, everybody, I hope that was helpful for you to start your week. I hope you have a fantastic Monday ahead of you. If this live stream helped you out in any way, like I said, please like it down below or subscribe on YouTube if you can. I would deeply appreciate it. It helps me grow this business and it helps me keep these live streams free. So, thanks, Alex. We got your back. Thank you. Appreciate you. All right, everybody. I hope you have a fantastic day, and I will see you right back here tomorrow. But until then, stay curious. Thank you so much for joining us and aligning with the energy of the universe today. If you enjoyed this morning's episode of Transits Today, you can join our live astrology discussion every weekday morning right here wherever you're watching. And head to thespiritualjournalist.com to read your daily astrology forecast and browse the Spiritual Shop. The most fun way to help keep these forecasts free and support more content like this is to buy yourself a little something on our website. But if you're feeling extra generous, you can also buy me a coffee to fuel future live streams. Just tap the link in the description or head to buymeacoffee.com and search The Spiritual Journalist. And speaking of, you can also tune in to The Spiritual Journalist, our weekly live interview where we ask our guests questions about everything from crystals and manifestation to mental health and the environment. Those conversations stream live right here wherever you're watching now every Tuesday. I'm so grateful you found us here, and I can't wait for our next conversation.